Why you dey buy fake product, yeah? Make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.
Buy original.
You should know where to go. Na SON. Don't touch, don't touch.
It's fake.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It's bad.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It hurts.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It destroys.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It kills.
You should know where to go. Na SON.
Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving lives through standards.
Owners of liquefied petroleum gas plants in the country urged to observe safety rules as Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Boloma, assures stakeholders of the agency's commitment to promote standardization ahead of the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Our satellite this week on product safety and quality is On the Wall and Extension Circuit. A warm welcome to Africa's most authoritative television program on product quality, standard and you. It's a public interest half-hour program powered by the SON, showing on this station at this time every Monday. Please accept the warm regards of the Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, management and staff of the agency. Special thanks to you, our esteemed viewers, for being a part of the program, the first edition in the month of February. Ifeoma Okonkwo is my name. I'll be back shortly.
Wow, Chief Mike, how are you?
Fine.
I'm going to Sun office for the certification of my wheat flour.
Oh no, things have changed. Sun has simplified all its activities. You could have even stayed back in Kano and process all your papers online. Whoa.
With the efforts of Sun, the products of SMEs can now compete globally. Sun has put in place necessary machineries in support of the growth of SMEs. At highly subsidized charges, SMEs can now get their certification, laboratory testing of their products, as well as purchase of standards. Meanwhile, Sun is carrying out massive seizure of substandard goods in the market and have gotten legal backing to prosecute offenders, all to protect consumers and SMEs. Sun, improving life through standards.
Operators of liquefied petroleum gas plants in the country have been advised to observe safety rules and adhere strictly to standards guiding the operations of their business. Director General of the agency, Osita Boloma Esquire, gave this advice when officials of the SON met with owners of LPG plants in Kano. The SON's chief executive was represented by the agency's state coordinator. Here are details of that meeting.
This meeting between officials of the Standards Organization of Nigeria and members of the LPG Plant Owners Association in Kano State was a follow-up on the gas explosion in Sabon Taja Kachia Road in Kaduna State. The focus of the interactive forum was to examine roles of LPG plant owners in ensuring safety and prevention of fire explosion. The gathering also examined the role of plant owners to check the proliferation of substandard LPG cylinders. It also provided an opportunity for the plant owners to understand the roles of the various regulatory agencies in the industry, especially as it affects standards. The representative of the SON's chief executive pointed out clearly that the SON has zero tolerance to substandard LPG cylinders, urging members to rise to the challenge and join the quality vanguard to ensure best practice in the industry. In another development, the Standards Organization of Nigeria says it will continue to work with relevant government agencies to ensure that consumers get value for their money. State Coordinator of the SON in Awka, Anambra State, Olalekan Omoniyi, gave this assurance when officials of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission visited the office in Awka. Such collaboration, he noted, will be in the area of information gathering and implementation. Efforts are on between the two government agencies to embrace joint approach to consumer-related issues, synergy in relating with market associations towards winning the trust of traders, and collaboration.
Welcome back. You're watching Standard and New. Ahead of the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, stakeholders are exploring ways to ensure its success and benefits to the country. A meeting comprising some members of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Institute of Public Analysts of Nigeria, and the Standards Organization of Nigeria is the latest of such efforts in that regard. Alimoto Sifo reports that the SON's chief executive was represented at the forum.
The African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement is an initiative aimed at promoting trade among member countries. It's to ensure free movement of goods and services within the continent to boost industrial capacities of signatories to the agreement. No doubt, the signing of the agreement by Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari, stakeholders and relevant government agencies like the Standards Organization of Nigeria are leaving nothing to chance to ensure the successful takeoff of the agreement. The focus of this business network was to examine its significance with a view to exploring ways to tackling the challenges the AFCTA poses on the economy. The quality and safety of products is a major concern which participants agree must be taken seriously.
Today's focus is African Free Trade Continental Area Agreement that has just been signed by the federal government. And this basically involves interaction of Africans with respect to goods and services. Free movements of goods across the borders, within the borders of Africa. And for us at IPAN, when goods move from both directions, the key objective, the key paramount things to consider is quality and safety of such goods. And this is where we come in. The Society of Testing Laboratory Analysts is composed of seasoned analytical professionals, analysts that own laboratories that conduct scientific testing of these goods and services to ensure that they meet, is it the local standard, the regional standard, and the world standards. And that's why we're bringing in seasoned experts to talk on this topic and then call attention Nigerian manufacturers to take into account the advantage of this agreement and then up their game, raise their standards. And you can only do that successfully by going through scientific testing of your products, going through certifications of your system, inspection of your facilities, and then good manufacturing practices.
For the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the relevant quality infrastructure that will guarantee the quality of products are not just on ground, but fully operational with requisite manpower. Representative of the Director General of the SON told the gathering that the agency is committed to promoting standardization and quality assurance.
One of the perceived disadvantage of the free trade is dumping of anything. Oh, there is a free trade. All the leaders have agreed that you can sell anything in quotes. How do we monitor that not just anything is being done? Through standards, SON has tried to remove technical barriers by bringing out standards that are usable by the stakeholders. SON has inspection and compliance directorates that monitors what goods comes in and go out of Nigeria. SON is ready to offer all this support to our manufacturers, our traders, exporters, so that they can have fair play in the free trade market.
The DG of Standards Organization of Nigeria assured stakeholders of the agency's resolve to protect Nigerians from fake and substandard products, adding that it will continue to evolve and deploy measures to check the influx of such products into Nigeria.
Welcome back and thanks for being there. Don't forget our transmission time is 6:30 p.m. every Monday on the station. It is a main source of electricity point on the walls of your home or offices. It's a life-endangering product that should be handled with utmost care. It's the wall socket. Alimoto C4 is standing by to tell us all we need to know about this important product in our next report.
Wall sockets are vital electrical products that connect electric equipment to the alternating current power supply in buildings. They are different from one another in voltage and current rating. They come in various shape, size, and connector type. The bulk of these products are imported into the country from other parts of the world, especially China.
We have 13 amp socket, 15 amp sockets. Sockets like 13 amps have twin socket. We call it 13 amp double. And we have also 13 amp socket with USB that you can charge your phone.
Branded extension. We have 4 ways. We have 3 ways. We have 6 ways.
Like AC, 15 amps can be used. 13 amps can be used as a multi-plug, when you can plug your TV, fan.
This essential part of a wiring system at home and in the office has no definite lifespan, and it's quite affordable and available.
I've used it for 4 years now. I used some for a year.
Over 1 year.
However, investigations by the Standards Organization of Nigeria reveal that there are substandard sockets in the market, a development that has remained a source of worry to the regulatory agency tasked with the responsibility of checking the production, importation and distribution of fake and substandard products in Nigeria, the SON.
The electricians, so they won't tell you the truth, the one that is original. Even if you went to the people that, the dealers, people that sell, they won't tell you the one that is original. 2 days ago, I changed the whole one inside my house. They were all sparking, understand? So most of them used to caught fire. Maybe if you don't off them before going out, before coming out, you see everything burn.
There are some that the wire inside will melt and it will cause a lot of damage to the electronics or any other thing you are using it for.
Most cases it gets spoiled, you have to replace it.
1 or 2 of the old may not be working very well sometimes.
According to SON's head of Electrical and Electronic Laboratory, there are standards for the wall and extension sockets with provision for various requirements and parameters to ensure safety and quality of the product.
Nigeria, as a member of International Electrotechnical Commission, we are full members, and then we have access to all electrical standards that are there. So we domesticate those standards for our use, and it is to those standards that these appliances are tested. We have requirements from there. First, we want to know the material of which it was produced. Acceptable one is, of course, from virgin materials. Marking is there. We want to know where the accessory is coming from, who manufactured it, what the current ratings, the voltage rating, and the standard to which it was produced to.
He added that the SON has a well-equipped laboratory to conduct tests and analysis on various electrical products, including the wall and extension sockets.
And we have equipment, to test, against each of the requirements that we have there, to ascertain whether they are a good product or they should not be accepted into the market. And then we have the mechanical, test, and then we want to know whether in the event of fire, it should be able to stand fire. That's a thermal, test requirement. If a manufacturer says this is what my extension box can carry, for instance, if you say it can carry 250 amps, 10 amps, or 13 amps, 15 amps, then we'll check whether it will be able to carry that.
In the case of this socket now, it's 13 amp socket. You vary the current to 13 amps, and then you apply to the sample being tested. You keep punching it like that for the number of times as required by the standard. It's also a form of endurance test. If If it wears out, it burns, it will also be seen as a bad product.
He identified wrong usage resulting from overloading of the extension socket by consumers, an act he described as dangerous.
Overloading, means you are overextending the power rating socket. If you have 4 slots kind of on an extension socket, it does not mean that you cannot use the 4. But what it means is that the 4 slots, you should use appliances that will add up to the rating of the socket. If, for instance, you have 4, on the 4 you have an adapter connected to it, you have 3 appliances connected to it, and then the rest of that 3 too, you are putting another socket, then you are putting other appliances, and when you just see it, you just see every area connected. That is an abuse of the use of this extension sockets. So all these accessories are life-endangering products, because the greatest caution that one should take is against fire outbreak. If you overload, then you are potentially looking for fire, so we shouldn't overload them.
It therefore becomes imperative for dealers on the product to ensure they import only quality electric wall and extension socket and complement the efforts of the SON to check the distribution of fake and substandard sockets.
These electrical parts, life is at stake. People can, maybe in other businesses you maneuver, but why people maneuver in something that can spark lights, burn down the whole building, kill people? You don't have to put profit first before people.
The last visitation of the SON, they made us to understand that it's an offense for somebody to bring in unbranded product. We have even told our customers, if you are buying a product without the sun cap, without a product registration from Sun, don't buy it. That product is a counterfeit.
Consumers are advised to be quality conscious and buy from trusted dealers and ensure proper usage of electric sockets.
Telling consumers to first of all ensure that the product you are buying is of quality first. In a case where you do not have that information and you go straight to get those things, you will be having the kind of complaints you begin to get. A product that has sun mark, quality mark on it is the first thing we should look out for. So look at the appliance in itself, look at the rating of the appliance, and then the rating of the socket, then before you can connect.
Here are some safety tips on the wall and extension sockets. Do not overload your socket with higher current appliances. Use only one extension lead per socket. Regularly check for danger signs like smell of hot plastic melting socket or appliances like plug or damaged leads, among others.
If you've just joined us on the program, you are watching Standard and New. If you're still in the business of importing substandard products into the country, you are advised to desist from the illegal and selfish act. This is because the Standards Organization of Nigeria has an effective surveillance mechanism to uncover your hideouts, seize and destroy the products. Leader of the agency's Surveillance and Intelligence Unit, Issa Sulaiman, gave this warning in an interview with Standard and New in Lagos.
The story of substandard products is the story of Nigeria. You find out that you may succeed in forcing those you catch and even take them to court, because we took a lot of cases to court. Some have been resolved, that is in terms of court order and directives, and some are still ongoing. Some are still. Recent ones is the case of a company that imported galvanized roofing sheets, substandard galvanized roofing sheet, but bought this band that you use to wrap the sheets of a local company. So DG directed for immediate action and were able to arrest both the owners of the company that imported the products and the foreign operator too, who was selling the band. And we got all of them arrested as we're talking. The case is in court. So I would like to advise importers and dealers that SON will never relent in our efforts to make sure we minimize or, if possible, eradicate these practices of importation and dealings on substandard products.
It disclosed that the agency has made tremendous seizure across the country through its monitoring structure based on information provided by good Nigerians and consumers' feedback.
I want to seize this opportunity to appeal to our traders and importers to please stop some of these bad activities, to stop importing substandard products and try to make a name for themselves, so that over time buyers will notice their products as good products and patronize them.
Welcome to the feedback segment of the program. I am Halimot Osifo. Have you heard of life-endangering products? Yes, life-endangering products. Today, liquefied petroleum gas, LPG cylinder, is used in many Nigerian homes. But did you know, fake and expired LPG cylinder plus poor handling have led to cylinder explosions, leading to loss of lives or causing severe burns. Behind every wall at home, in an office or a building in general, there are cables that channel electricity for daily consumption. If these electrical cables are not of good quality, it could result in a domestic fire outbreak, posing great danger to lives and property. Just as poor brake pads could place you and your passengers in danger, the campaign against fairly used, substandard and expired tires is significant to the prevention of road accidents, which is life-threatening. Now, imagine what happens when substandard steel bars are used in building construction. Building collapse, which can be disastrous. LPG cylinder, electrical cable, brake fluids and pads, tires, steel bars, solar panel, stabilizer, and more products have been classified as life-endangering products. Life-endangering products are high-risk products, as they pose a greater safety risk to consumers because of their nature. Such products requires you as a manufacturer or an importer to be mindful of the fact that the products can put not just one, but many lives in great danger if defective. What about you, the consumer? Remember, life has no duplicates. Be vigilant and quality conscious when making a purchase and during usage. Standards Organization of Nigeria recognizes the need to stay safe. Hence, the agency will stop at nothing in protecting Nigerians from fake and substandard products, and also life-endangering products. Nicodemus Peter says, is it true that consumers have right to choice of products or goods? Yes, one of your consumer rights is right to choose. If a product is manufactured by more than one manufacturer, then the consumer has a right to inspect the products of other manufacturers and make a choice after making comparative study. Isaac Prince from Rivers State says, I congratulate you for what you are doing. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Isaac. Nice to hear from you. Anonymous Messenger says, is it right to buy a product that has no trademark on it? A trademark is a unique symbol that helps you to identify a product from another. So it's part of the labeling information required for every product. Joseph Umukoro from Delta says, I watched your program. It's very interesting. Thank you so much. We hope to serve you better. Anonymous Messenger says, I bought a blender recently, but it has spoiled. Please give us detailed information about the products, where you made the purchase with your proof of purchase, and we'll help you get value for your money. Linda from Enugu says, where is your office in Enugu? Alright, SON Enugu State Office is at 3 Prada Road, Engineering Lab, MNA Industrial Layouts, Enugu. Anonymous Messenger says, SON, you are doing a great job. Thank you so much. And that concludes this week's episode of the program Standard and You. 070597244455 is the number to send in your messages to with your full name and location. Tag along with us on Facebook at Standard and You, Instagram and Twitter at Standard and You _. Remember, we have a vibrant YouTube channel where you can watch previous episodes online at youtube.com/Standard and You. Don't just view, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. As always, buy original, sell authentic, and use only the best. Bye for now.
Why you dey buy fake product Make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.